Welcome back in, everyone, to EA Sports coverage of the NFL. It's the Bills in possession of the football as we rejoin the action in the first quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they've got it here with a first down. They go play action here on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. To throw on second is Watson. And Nelson's got it here right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Lets it go for Nelson. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On second down, Freeman. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. They will find Davis. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Jonathan Jones that time, the one who got a hand in, knocked it away.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
The Bears on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. On third down, Rosen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Well, this is something you may have to deal with when you give the keys to the offense to a rookie quarterback. Now 2 first-half interceptions.
And you do expect it. But I think this deep into the season, you're expecting that to improve and not see it quite so often, or definitely not in this case. So he goes to the sidelines and the head coach puts his arm around him. He might not be talking to him in nice tones.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Right back to Booker. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Third and short, it's Booker. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. A second down carry for Booker. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Bills on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the 50, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A handoff. Devontae Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. Calais Campbell on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Off the play fake, here's Rosen. Looking deep downfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Now Watson. They set up the screen to Booker. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Onto the field now come the Bears. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right, number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Rosen on 1st and 10. Caught left side, Garcon. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now Rosen on first down. And Davis with it left side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Throwing now, Rosen on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
It's complete right side to Benjamin. Kiss him goodbye, Travis Benjamin. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Travis Benjamin, 78 yards. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
And now it's Rosen looking. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. The Bears on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And now here's another interception. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. starts with Devontae Booker. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half.